Alright, well, since it's winter here in Canada, Toronto, we get a lot of building time up here. I can still do winter flying, but it's been really windy and just nasty weather, so you can't fly in this weather. So I was out doing some Christmas shopping, and I was in Toys R Us, and I seen this little thing called an Hogs glider, Titan's glider. Now, I had one of them little Hogs planes before, but this one was the biggest Hogs I've ever seen. So I decided to just buy it just to check it out. You know, I like planes, so whatever. It was only 14 bucks anyways, so it was a steal. So I brought it home, and lo and behold, it was made out of some pretty decent foam. It was one of those gliders where there was basically nothing. It was just plain. Nothing was cut out of it. Nothing was in it. No motor. Nothing. You just throw it in the air and see how far it can glide. So I basically cut everything into it. I cut a hatch into it. I cut ailerons into it, a rudder, elevators, added an EDF to it, everything. And this thing, boy, I can't even wait to fly it. This thing looks beautiful. It's balanced out. The center of gravity is balanced. It's just balanced out real nice, and it just turned out way better than I thought. I painted it gold on the top and silver on the bottom. I'll show you right now. Oops. So underneath, silver, and the top of it is gold. I got this kind of gold plated type of nugget effect type of paint. Now the paint was styrofoam friendly, styrofoam safe, but because I was spray painting outside and it was windy, I had to hold the spray paint a lot closer to the plane. And so I realized that even though the paint may be styrofoam friendly, aerosol from the actual spray paint can is not styrofoam friendly. So the closer you hold the spray paint can to your styrofoam plane, it will sort of shrivel up some parts of the foam. The closer you hold it, right, it will start to eat away at the foam a little bit. It didn't do it too bad to my plane, but because I wasn't too close for too long. But if you look really close, you'll see little parts where you can see it start to do that, and I know it was because I was holding the can a little bit too close. So maybe that's something you should remember if you're ever using any kind of paint, even if it says styrofoam friendly. Hold it from a good distance. Do it somewhere, spray it somewhere where there's not a lot of wind, so that you can hold it from a good distance, and then you'll get a nice even paint out of it, and it won't eat away at the foam. Now, I guess I'll just go through the controls. We have left and right ailerons. Get a little closer look. Then we have rudder. And if you look, the servo I added to the side there. Then we have elevator. And we have the motor. And that's not even like a quarter of the way. That's not even a quarter of the way. Like, if I turn it up full blast, it will probably fly off the chair. Not probably, it will. See, it almost flew off the chair. Now, I had another plane, my Cessna, that I added an EDF to it, and somebody suggested that I put a thrust tube at the back of the EDF fan, which is a good idea. But I've seen people put EDF fans on the back of their fun jets. Have you ever seen the multiplex fun jets, the pusher jets? I've seen people put EDFs on the back of that without a thrust tube, and they fly just fine. So I figured I'll try it like this, and if it has enough thrust, then, which it should, then that's cool. If it doesn't, then I think I'll consider adding a thrust tube to the back to give a little bit of added thrust. I guess we'll take a look on the inside. I have the fan is a, oh crap, is it a 64 millimeter or 55 millimeter? I think it's a 55 millimeter. It was from one of my little F-35s, one of them little mini ones, and I crashed it, of course, crashed all my planes, and I just kept the parts. That's what I love about EDFs and these styrofoam planes, is that the frames are very inexpensive. The parts usually last even when you crash, so you can reuse the parts for many more projects. So if we take a look inside the hatch, it's very simple. There's the battery, there's some of the electronics I cut in there, there's the receiver. It's pushed inside a bit so you can see it's like on the inside of the hatch, and it's just well balanced out with the battery in there, and it looks great, feels great. There's the rudder servo. Back there, that controls the rudder. Then you got your servos on the other side. I guess I could turn it over and show you guys. The servos inside the wings controlling the ailerons. And then I taped in I basically cut little pathways, I guess you could say, engraved it so that the wiring can fit inside. I wish I could figure out how to actually place the wiring on the inside of the plane, but I guess I'd have to chop the whole plane in half. And so I really can't wait to fly this bad boy. And if it works the way it should work, because it's supposed to be a glider, then I think this plane is gonna give the multiplex Easy Star a run for their money. Because if you can buy these airframes for 14 bucks, and as long as you got some spare parts, some spare servos, some micro servos, which most flyers, if you've been flying for even a year plus, you'll have a few crash planes and spare parts laying around. You can make yourself one of these in no time. It took me, I did this in a couple days. I like maybe worked about an hour a bit each time I worked on it. And this is not exactly a beginner's build. It's in between an ARF, almost ready to fly, and a scratch build, because nothing's cut out of it. It's just absolutely just a plain blank slate. Oh, there's something I did forget to show you guys. Is the wings. I made the wings detachable. So hold on a second. You can see, oops, sorry about that. You can see the wings are detachable, and they have a carbon, the wires are in there, so I can't take it out, but they have a carbon fiber wire that I took from one of my planes, and a magnet. So the carbon fiber wire, is glued into one wing so that I don't lose it, and then there's a hole on the other wing so that when I push this one through, it just connects and goes. It goes about about that far into the wing going across. So yeah, the wings are detachable, so I can take the wings off when I'm ready, plug out the servo wire, and take this plane on the go. So I really can't wait to maiden this, now that you guys are on the maiden when I do it. Peace.